Please make some noise like this. Welcome to the stage, Nemr!
How's it going, everybody? How you guys doing tonight? You feeling good? Doing all right? Good to see you, man. My name's Nemr. I'm Lebanese. Lebo, I believe, is the word. This is my first time in Australia. I was quickly told that makes me a Lebo. I'm also American. That's why I talk like this. So I being from two third world countries is has been a great time. No, it's really great to be here, man. I kind of feel like America's gotten a really bad rep recently with, everything that went down with COVID and how we handled it and stuff. But man, I know this, hear me out. It's just, I kind of feel like it was too much. I mean, we did the best we could, It wasn't easy, man. We had to wear a mask. Anyways, so there was a lot of stuff. What a bunch of bitches America turned out to be. That was really messed up, man. I did a show in Miami months ago. I don't know if you guys know this, but in Miami, COVID ended about 9 years ago, and I met this guy there, and he goes to me. He goes, "Where did you come in from?" And I said, "Los Angeles." And he said, "How did you get here?" And I said, I took a plane. And he said, "How did you get to the airport?" And I said, I took an Uber. And he said, "I thought you couldn't leave your house in LA. They had you in lockdown." And I was like, do you think I escaped Los Angeles to come to Miami? And he's like, "No, I mean, are you free there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but yeah, He's like, "Can you go to a restaurant?" I'm like, "Yeah, He goes, "Do you have to wear a mask?" I'm like, "Yeah, you wear a mask, you go, you eat, you leave." He's like, "But how do you eat if you're wearing a mask?" I was like, "Oh, you hold the food close to your mouth, and with photosynthesis, it gets absorbed." I'm like, "You put the mask down and you eat your food, and then you put it back on, and then you leave." And he was like, "I could never live under such tyranny." And I was like, "Man, I know exactly what you're talking about. When I was growing up and I was in Beirut, we were getting bombed once. And I remember, the bombs were dropping. I didn't know if my dad was alive. I remember I was like, man, you know what would be worse than this right now is if I had to put a piece of cloth over my face. That would be the true tragedy here. So I understand your pain, sir." And he was like, "Thank you. I knew you'd understand." And I was like, "This guy is a fucking moron. This is great. These are my people." It's been a good time, I think, for everybody involved. As once again myself having immigrant parents, it's been especially fun. I think anybody who has immigrant parents, they have this amazing ability to flee the country that they come from, because they're going to die, and take the family to another country and then spend the entire time bitching about how much better it was in the country they had to escape for their lives. You understand? Until they take you back and you're like, what the fuck is this shit? And then they have the weirdest reasons that they cling on to gaslight their children that, no, this is really the better place. With my mom, she had this weird obsession with cucumbers. Nothing sexual, that's my mom. Unless she wants to, then that's cool, because, all the power. But I mean, I'm serious, it was the weird, I remember, this is a true story, we were getting bombed once, we were in a bomb shelter, and the fucking bombs were dropping, and my mom was just sitting there, and as they're dropping, she's like, the cucumber in Lebanon is so delicious. In America, we would buy the cucumber, no flavor. No flavor. You would one cucumber, you buy one cucumber. For $5. In Lebanon, we buy 3 kilos of cucumber. So delicious. And in America, we would eat the cucumber. And we would say, this is not cucumber. But here I eat it. I remember my grandfather and my grandmother and how we would say that. And then we would eat it with bread. And I'd be like, "Mom, is Dad alive? Is he safe?" "I don't know, but the cucumber, so delicious." I always liked being the child of immigrants. I like being an immigrant. I'm very proud to be an immigrant, which is a great thing in America right now. I've met Americans who come up to me and they're like, hey man, are you really an Arab? Like you don't look like an Arab. And I'm like, do you really think that if I were to fake an identity, in America, I choose Arab? Like, you think that's gonna open doors for me? Like, I don't know what you're saying here, you know? And my name is Nemr, which means tiger. It's Arabic. Nemr is how you pronounce it, but I don't even try. And my last name is Abu Nassar, which means father of the victorious. So my full name is Tiger, father of the victorious. That's why we have so much war in the Middle East. That's what parents call their kid. You can't like play the flute if you're Tiger, father of the victor. Do you get what I'm saying? I have to kill like 6 people from ISIS at least just to justify being called Tiger, father of the victorious. Jesus Christ. And it's been fun because it's not till you like grow up and then you become like independent that you realize that you were like in a really weird situation that nobody else really experienced. Because like my parents used to beat me, right? But like it was fun. Like, hear me out. Like, does anybody here grow up with like getting beaten by their parents? Did anyone ever grow up?
I'm Arab.
Yeah. Oh, she's Arab and she's happy. You get what I'm saying? Like, look, she was like, and I'm Arab, like, yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, it brings people together, because it does. Because like when our parents would beat us, they would say, I do this because I love you. Exactly. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? So why don't you love your children? I don't understand why you guys it's a quintessential experience, It's a beautiful thing because you basically, you would upset your mom and then your mom would beat you and then she would cry and then you would apologize to her for having put her through the trauma of having to beat you, and she would make you feel bad. And you'd be like, Mom, please stop crying. And she wouldn't stop crying. And you don't want her to stop crying because you care. You just don't want your dad to come home. Because then if he's crying, he's like, why is your mom crying? And then he beats you. And it's just there's a lot of love. And in these families. And I look out here and I see a lot of, Australian people. And I think you guys are the best. Honestly, I do. And a lot of you seem a bit horrified. Like, how is this guy talking about child abuse so casually? But it's not child abuse because have you met children? It's easy for you to be judgmental now, but just one. Listen, look, there's a difference between child abuse and discipline, and it's creativity, right? If you come home every day and you beat your child every day, that's child abuse. You come home from work, right? You're angry, right? And you take it out on your kid. You're a disgusting human being, and that's child abuse, right? But if if the mom informs the child early in the day that tonight when your father comes home, he will wipe the floor with you, how is that child abuse? You gave the kid the entire day to escape, formulate an alternative plan, find a new family. He chose to stay. Plus, if you do it right, you only do it once, right? Like if you slap a kid, you only do maybe an annual refresher, but if you slap them right, then all you do is this, and they're like, it's just look at Will Smith, right? He's not Australian. What are you groaning for? He's our embarrassment. Enjoy it. Slap goes a long way. That's all I'm saying. And let me be clear, because I don't want this, because I think this is live on TikTok. I don't want somebody to screen grab this and be like, Arab terrorist goes to Australia to beat children. But I have enough going against me. But I just want to make something clear. This only applies for the boys. So you don't beat the girl. You don't touch the girls. What you need to do is you need to give the girl whatever she asks for in life, okay? And whatever the boy asks for, you say no, and you give it to the girl. And if the girl is bad, you beat the boy in front of the girl, and be like, you see, this woman gets it. You see, she's with me. She's like, this is a great plan, right? And you might be like, why would you do that? Because that way, if you constantly empower the women, right? When they go off into the real world and somebody treats them like shit, you know, a dude that they're with, or a girl, or whatever way they swing, right? Treats them a bit bad, they know they can come home where they're celebrated and they get everything and they won't take any shit. So if you empower the women and beat the boys, you make the world a better place. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You get it. You're getting laid tonight. Now, here, small trade-off. Before I go, just because we're on such a hopeful and uplifting message tonight, you guys are great. This is the weirdest thing ever. I really want to say this is a great place, and you really celebrate everything you guys got because it's wonderful. Stay positive, support. I love how I was with my friend. He's Australian, and his little kid came and said he had a dream. He was like, Dad, I know what I want to be when I grow up. The kid's like 5. And my instant reaction was like, who cares? Because it's a kid, like, what does he know? And I realized then that that's the wrong train of thought. And he asked me, he's like, what do you want to be? And he said, I want to be a trash collector, trash man. Yeah, and the dad was like, that's great, you know, you get to know the neighborhood, they have good benefits. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. Because like as an Arab, when I was growing up, if you go up to your parents and you're like, I have a dream, they'll be like, you have a dream? Go back to sleep. And then they just keep, you know, doing, is it to be engineer? No, shut the fuck up. And then, so you guys should celebrate what you have because it's beautiful. My name's Nemr. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. Take care of yourselves, Australia.